Knicks family, we're back. And we're back to probably the worst loss of the season. Definitely the worst played game of the season. But I hope you had a very Merry Christmas. We're moving into the new year. Let's get this pop. And Knicks fans, I apologize that you did not hear what I just said, because I've been away. I'm rusty. I'm a little bit rusty. I've been away from the stream for about a week or so. I must be rusty because you didn't hear a word that I said when I did the little intro. All you did is see me make some hand signals. I thought that I hit the button, but anyway, here we are back from Christmas, after playing two, fairly good games against the Milwaukee Bucks. We took losses like we expected to take losses, but we at least played decent games. And now here we come with this. And you know what? I think this was probably to be expected. One of these type losses. I expected to have one of these type losses. And really, to be honest with you, is this really rock bottom or not? I don't know. Is this rock bottom? Are we at the bottom, or is there more to go? Are we going to see losses even worse than this? I don't know how much worse you can get.
It's good, Nate.
Because this was pretty bad. Right? This was pretty bad. But anyway, I'm happy to be back. I'm glad to be back. I had a few days off. Spend time with the family, coach some basketball games. I wanted to try to get on, but it just wasn't going to be possible. We traveled away to a tournament that was a few hours away, so it just wasn't going to be possible for me to get on. I wanted to. I was watching the games, but I couldn't get on. But that's okay. That's cool. You know what I mean? Worst game of the season by far. By far. Worst game of the season. I think we got it down by as many as 46 points, I think it was. Yeah, I think we got Ed. Thanks, Ed. Said he's feeling the hat. I appreciate that. I think we got down by as many as 46 points. Clearly the worst game of the season. Pick and roll. We got killed in the pick and roll. Geez. We got killed in the pick and roll just about every time down the floor in the first half. I don't know, second half wasn't much better. We tried to put up a little bit of a fight in that third quarter and play with a little bit of heart. And they actually shaped it down to 22 points. But, clearly we weren't coming back from this. It just wasn't going to happen. You know what I mean? It just wasn't going to happen. We just didn't have that kind of fight. We didn't have that kind of heart. And, we're on a type of a road trip. This is a road trip that can be pretty bad for us, folks. You know what I'm saying? We play Denver next. Denver has the best record in the West right now. As of tonight, they have the best record in the West. This is a dangerous road trip for us. I guess I don't want to say dangerous. I don't want to say a dangerous road trip. This is a road trip where we might get blown out of the water every step of the way. I don't know how much. Listen, the Utah Jazz are 18-19, right? We made them look like world beaters. I guess compared to us, they are world beaters, but they're 18-19 after tonight, right? In the Western Conference, they're not in the playoffs in the Western Conference. Right? In the Western Conference, the Utah Jazz, and I guess it bodes to how strong the Western Conference is. In the Western Conference, the Utah Jazz are, bottom 5 in the Western Conference. Right? So now, we go to play Denver, who is, number 1 in the Western Conference. What do you think is going to happen there? And Denver is playing very, very well. The Utah Jazz, we made them look very prolific. But guess what? The Denver Nuggets are pretty prolific. For real. Just a horrible, horrible game by the Knicks. And we got a video chat with us. Let's talk about it a little bit with the video chat. We got Nate, we got Guillermo, to talk a little bit about this game, and I hope they watched the game. I want to know what you guys saw. What did you guys see out there? Because, this was a horrible display of basketball by the New York Knicks. And if we lose a game, we lose a game. You know what? I don't care about that. I understand our circumstances and where we are and what's happening and all that good stuff. Right? So I get that. There's no argument from me about that right now. None whatsoever. No arguments whatsoever. But can we have a better display of basketball? It's a hard Knicks life. What's going on with you? It is a hard Knicks life. And a hard Knicks life is in the chat with us. What's popping to the hard Knicks life? And yeah, what a night to return. You're right. What a night to return. And it is a hard Knicks life. It's a hard one. Let's see what the chat's got to say about this, man. The video chat. See what you guys are thinking about this. Nate, what's going on, man? What's popping?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good. What do you think, man? That it was a bad one. I will say, yeah. I don't want to. I'm not trying to, toot my own horn, but I did call that we were gonna have one of these games fairly soon.
You did. You said you wanted to see one, and it happened.
I said I wanted to see it happen. I knew I could feel it because I just looking at the guys, some of their body language and some of the things that were happening on the court. I could see that something like, a game like this was gonna happen. And I'll be honest with you, I'm afraid it may not be the last. We may see a couple more of these games.
No, I mean, as the competition gets more heavier and better, I mean, it's definitely very, very possible to happen. No doubt.
I mean, and now we're going to Denver, and you got the high altitude and all that kind of stuff.
Not to mention we haven't won in Denver forever.
Yeah, I mean, this is we'll see what's up, but. Man, what's your take? Nate?
Well, I mean, it's consistent. It's the same problems over and over again. We can't shoot. We can't defend. So that's a recipe for disaster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could not guard the pick and roll. Gobert was just everywhere in the paint. I mean, there was no fight or nothing to stop people from penetrating in the paint, which is surprise, that's our biggest problem all year. We can't stop penetration. I mean, it was just a breakdown of just everything. Offensively, we were aiming shots. We weren't setting our shots. It's almost like we just didn't care. It's almost like they wanted to just get the hell out of there and get the game over with. I mean, it's amazing. Like I told you, it's amazing we scored 97 points because we had 30 at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even think we were going to score maybe 80 points. So, I mean, kudos to at least making it look decent.
Decent?
Well, I mean, we were down by almost 50 points, and we lost by 30. So that's what I meant. I mean,
yeah. I mean, maybe by the New York Knicks standards, this is decent.
Yeah, but I'll tell
maybe
you
that's how it is nowadays.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, the defense is pathetic. I mean, everybody on the Knicks team should be ashamed of themselves and on how to play defense. Even Frank got blown by too, and you know me, I'm a big lover of Frank, but he even got beat by Neto on one play. I don't know, man. They need to look themselves in the mirror and if they really just want to tank the rest of the season, then let's just keep playing the way we are. But yeah, it was embarrassing.
Listen, we're a terrible team, right? And we're gonna lose, regardless if you want to call it tanking or whatever you want to call it. We're going to lose. But I want to see development and growth, and obviously, there's going to be games like this. We know it, especially if we're talking about development and growth, and we're going to play, guys that are, young guys. Luke Cornett is starting. If we're going to play guys like that, then we're going to see some more of these games. I can almost guarantee it. We're going to see some more of these games where the score is maybe not as bad as it was tonight, we were down by 46 at one point. Maybe not as that bad, but we're going to see a lot more blowouts because of, who's going to be on the floor. I don't even care about that. If we play hard, if we play our hearts out and we get beat by 30, you know what? It is what it is. I just want to see I want to see some things happening, right? Some development, just some growth somewhere. That's
one thing I've noticed a pattern this season is that we play well against the top teams. It's like we get up for those games, but the teams that are crap, that are terrible, it's almost like we just roll over and die. It's so weird. Because even against the Bucks, I mean, we fought hard. I mean, we knew we weren't going to win that game, but I mean, we fought hard and we played decent enough, but it's almost like the teams that are terrible, like the Hawks, the Suns, the Wizards. I mean, all those teams are terrible, and yet we get our butts blown out by them. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see what's up, man. Guillermo, what do you think, man?
Listen, man, you already know what it is, man. I say this time and time again, man. The reason why we look so bad, man, is two things: focus and confidence, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that both those things come when you have a system both on defense and offense. One thing I notice, Sim, that I see from other teams, especially those that they are in contention for playoffs, their role players, especially when they play us, their role players always seem to produce, whether it's on offense or defense, right? You see guys like these guys, Vandervliet or whatever, just random. I'm not saying he's not good, but you see these role players and they always excel. What I saw tonight and what I see a lot with this team is that what Fizdale's trying to do, he's trying to give like confidence to these guys by making them, overthink and say, yeah, I can take this guy one-on-one ISO, versus having a system that can get you to your strengths, and then you can slowly work on your weaknesses on the side. Right. Too many times I've seen tonight, and I saw in the past game against the Bucks, where Trier, when he's doing the pick and roll, he picks up his dribble a lot, and it stops the pick and roll. And now the defense knows he's either going to shoot or he has to pass out. So what that's telling me is that there's no real system on this team. It's like he's just allowing these guys to ball out. Now, you've seen some games where it's like guys are making cuts and stuff, but too many times, like I've said, on the weak side, on the other side, there's no action. There's nothing happening over there. And you see a lot tonight, Sim, when they get down to the foul line, it's ISO time, and everyone's just still. So, I look at this team, of course, I'm not saying fire Fizdale, but I want to see a modicum of some type of system, especially on defense tonight. Like, our game plan should have been to stop Gobert. Gobert's probably, going to go up tonight, whatever, even though he's been not the greatest on offense, he's been more of a defensive stalwart, and they tell him to get a little more confidence. But he should be part of the game plan. When I'm looking at what we need to do against this team, he should be number two. It's Donovan Mitchell first and then him. And it's like, I didn't see any of that tonight. I saw nothing tonight. And the last thing I'll say, we need to get rid of Cantor. What he did in that Bucks game, I got so mad at, because one, he didn't get the foul called on him, which is fine. You got a little dirty hit on Giannis, fine. And he's doing this to the crowd while the play is still going on. It's like, dude, where the hell is your focus? Are you just there to create a name for yourself? Like, are you there for the team? And then he was like, he put the emoji thing when he wasn't starting. And that's like, are you so stupid to realize that you are a minus on defense and your offense isn't even that great? We're not winning because of your offense. And he's doing childish things like that. Fizdale needs to take a lesson from, I think it was something Commander, the one with Russell Crowe, where he pulled the guy aside, who's one of the captains, who was trying to be buddy with it. And he was like, dude, you're not here to be their friends. They're looking for a leader to look up to. You need to be their leader, not their friend. I think Fizdale needs to take a little bit from that. You need to stop being buddy with these guys and nip in the bud, man. A guy like Cantor, he needs to sit 3, 4, 5 games, and you need to teach him a lesson. Hey, get better on defense, too. Stop being so selfish. You need to focus. If you want to be so-called whatever for this team, New York, you need to focus versus trying to make a name for yourself, trying to hurt Giannis. Like, it's just a mess, and we need some discipline. I'm not saying we need Phil Jackson back, whatever, but we need some discipline on this team. And it showed tonight, man.
Yeah. I definitely agree that we need to. I believe that we need some discipline on this team. I'm with you 100% on that. And I don't know if it's maybe
my bad, Mark.
Maybe Fizdale, he has his philosophy, and I'm supporting Fizdale. I'm supporting him. I'm just saying what I see, and I do think that we need to have some kind of discipline on the team. With players. I feel like I really am starting to feel like he's kind of buddy with the players, and that's not gonna work. You know what I mean? I don't want him to be buddy with the players. But I am starting to feel that way. We've got to, if you're going to, you got to I don't know how I want to say it. You know, we gotta set something up for the future. You know, because even though a good number of these guys are not going to be back, a good number of the guys are going to be back. So we've got to start setting something up for the future. And I feel like, you know, I'm asking the question: is this rock bottom for us? I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm feeling like maybe it's not rock bottom, and there's a lot worse to come. And, you know, depending on what happens with the trade deadline and all that stuff, we could very well see games much worse than this. And, you know, I hate to see games this bad, but I think we could very well see games much worse than this in the near future. Let me get to Mark. Let me see what Mark's got to say. Mark, what's popping, man? What's up?
Yo, what's popping, Sid?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling.
Listen, man. Listen. I don't want to be the one to tell y'all guys, but I have to be. Okay. You know, this is just me.
Okay. Let me know.
Tonight shows you one of the reasons why I say we're gonna have a hard time scoring, especially against teams that strictly plays defense like this, because we don't have the athletes to overcome defensive teams like this. And most of the players on our team aren't players who you can rely on scoring the basketball. This is what these games that we're about to go through against these good teams that play great defense. It's going to expose us even more to what we was dealing with even in the first couple of months of the season. And that's what I was trying to harp on people. We don't have players where other teams fare or draw or double teams. Teams are playing them straight man to man. Teams are playing them straight man to man. And Utah went back to their defensive settings now. They're not even an offensive team, and they just scored 130 on us.
Yeah, I know. They're not even a defensive team.
That's not their motto.
They scored 130 points on us. They're not even a defensive team.
Listen, I tell you right now, what Fizz is doing, I'm telling you, he's just trying to prop up who he could prop up and use them as trade chips. These are not his guys. He just dealing with what he have right now. That's all we are right now. We don't have the talent. We don't have the talent to overcome great teams. It's straight like that, bro. Straight like that. And the next couple of games, Lord be with us. Lord be with us. Because if Utah gonna do us like this, look at the teams in the West. There's 12, 13 teams in the West fighting for 1/8 spot, and they're all good. The only team that sucks out in the West is the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
But they're still good enough to win a game from here to here. But we lack talent, man, and I've been harping on this. We can't score with these great defensive teams because when they get down on us, they take out everything. They take us out. Because if Knox was someone who you could rely on and he could create a threat for us more on the offensive side, then it would open the offense. The fact that he's not that aggressive offensively where we want him to be, teams are just not loading up. They're just playing man to man. So it's easy for them to stop us and stop out whatever offense we have here. Listen, just prepare for these chats to be like this. So coming on and feeling sad.
So yeah. So let me ask you: is this rock bottom? Is this rock bottom? Or is there more?
How many games we lost?
We've lost 28 games.
No. How many games we lost in a row? From the last game we won.
Right now we are on a 7-game losing streak, I believe.
Okay, and what did I tell you guys? If we don't hover around 500 or a couple of games away from 500 before January starts, we're doomed. We're done. That January schedule, it is cold winter for us.
Well, let me tell you something though. In the January schedule, we went over it just before I went out, for Christmas break. We went over it. The January schedule. Let's take a look at, you look at the schedule in March. It's bad too. I mean, but this January schedule right now, we're in the midst of a brutal schedule, right? Just a brutal schedule. and it's brutal. It's brutal. It's gonna knock us out the box.
And the only way we're gonna win games if Kevin Knox come out and have like a Tatum season. It's gonna be hard to win games because these teams are figuring out themselves now. A lot of these good teams are in their identity mode. We don't have one single identity.
Nothing. We have nothing to hang our hat on. Nothing at all.
Did you see the pick and roll defense tonight? Did you see it?
And listen, that's one thing. That's one thing I wanted to bring up too, right? We've obviously, I know, and I'm not defending Cantor in his defense because his defense is terrible, right? But
what defense?
But think about this though. Cantor in the first half, the pick and roll defense was the worst I've seen it in the first half. Dunk after dunk after dunk, right? Cantor played 8 minutes in the first half. So you can't even blame the pick and roll defense on Cantor. He didn't start the game. He played 8 minutes in the first half. So now the question is it scheme? Is it Cantor? Is it scheme or is it players?
Well, a lot of these teams run schemes on us when it comes to the pick and roll because we can't. Like I said, we couldn't guard that. Life depended on it.
But
until we could guard some of it, then teams won't score on the way they score on us.
Yeah.
But the fact that we cannot defend this pick and roll and these hybrid guards are just abusing us every trip. Jesus Christ.
But look at this. But check this out. There was a play in the third quarter where finally, I don't know, the screen and roll was up at the top of the key, and Damian Dotson helped out in the middle, helped out the person, for the person who was rolling. And we stopped the screen and roll from working because that backside person actually helped in. It hasn't been happening all season long. We've seen it here and there. And this is probably going to be one of those here and there moments from Damian Dotson. Yeah. But that's something that has to happen, and it hasn't happened.
But
that backside guy
is a smarter player, Tim.
Just the Knicks in history, for some reason, we double team players that we should not even double team.
Yeah.
Like for years and years and years, when you watch the Knicks, why do they double team players that we should never double team? Ever.
I don't know. I have no
lack of focus and coaching. That's it. Lack of focus and coaching.
I have no answer for that.
Bro, we don't have defenders like that. We don't have at a guard spot. We don't have defenders.
Right.
Dotson and Frank, but they want Frank to be focused on offense so much. So I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, you take what you want, man. Dotson and Frank have shown. Look, you just said that Dotson made the switch. Dotson is one of the guys I call on the team. He has some type of intelligence how to play basketball. It's cerebral to him, right? Guys like him and Frank, those are the guys. If you're talking about building an identity, I would have the team build around those guys just for the time being, because those guys, at least on defense, look, we don't have to score. You don't have to score so many. If you play hard and smart defense, you don't need 30-point nights from Knox. You don't need 30-point nights from Hazonia or these guys. Look what happened with the Jazz that kills tonight, but they're surviving on the West not strictly, but a lot on defense. Yes, they have Mitchell who's a beast, but he's having a so-so sophomore.
Yeah, no, he kind of regressed a little.
On our team, it's not necessarily just about talent. I agree with you 100%. We don't have great talent on this team. When you're talking about focus, remember what Devin Booker said? Devin Booker said, run the pick and roll on Cantor. That's it. And it's not just Cantor, it's the rest of the team. Our front court, I don't see so the intelligence from guys on the team where it's like, yeah, Fizdale told me to do this. All right, we're playing this guy. He's a top-notch center. He likes to do this, so we're going to overplay this. We're going to double Embiid when he gets in the box and he's trying to do his moves and make him force him to pass out. I hardly see those things like that. And that comes – yes, it comes from players, but also comes from the coach, Tim. I don't see it.
Yeah. And listen, and and talking about Damian Dotson and making that pick and roll, and this goes to his credit. In the first half, he had missed that same exact rotation, but he made it in the second half. And it's something that, we've been missing all season long. That backside person has got to help out on the screen and roll.
Yeah, it's a move, it's a vibe, son.
But we've been getting killed in it all season long, and we definitely got killed in it tonight. And so, it just makes me, ask that question. Is it really is Cantor really the culprit? or is culprit has to do with scheme, or our backside? I guess it's everything in everyone.
It's everything, Sim, because even when Mitch was in there, he was getting stuck on the pick and rolls too. Yeah. Not as bad as Wesley, because he has good recovering speed.
Right.
But and at least he sells out. He comes out. He peaks out a little bit.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It's just it's a mess.
Let me get to just some breakdowns of the stats and everything, and then we can go ahead and talk a little bit more about rock bottom, and if we are indeed witnessing the Knicks go rock bottom, or do we have further to fall? Will we be falling any further than this? And I have a hunch that maybe we will. Maybe the score won't be as bad, but I have a hunch that we're going to see some games that are this bad or even worse. That's just, that's me. That's what I see, because, we're playing almost as bad as it gets, ladies and gentlemen. Almost as bad as it can get. For some people, I know it's, I know some people are loving it. And you know what? We're going to check out Tankathon tonight. So we're going to check it out. We're going to go ahead and check it out. And look at it and talk about it and see where we are. I guess it's about that time, because it's clearly obvious that, it's just about that time. Anyway, the New York Knicks lost to the Utah Jazz 129-97 in blowout fashion. We were down by as much as 46 points tonight, and it was indeed embarrassing for the Knicks to, listen, with, 3 minutes left in that second quarter, we had like 24 points. That's just 24 points with about 3 minutes left in that second quarter. That's just utterly ridiculous. There's no way that that's supposed to happen. An NBA team, and you can't muster up more points than that. Utah is a good defensive team. We will say that, Utah is a good defensive team. I get that. I understand it. But geez, come on. That's just straight up ridiculous. The Knicks, let's take a look at the matchup stuff. And you can see it right here. The first quarter, we were down 39-17. Down 22 points in the third quarter, in the first quarter. And the second quarter wasn't much better. Second quarter. And I'll pull this over here so you can see what I'm talking about. 39-17 in the first quarter, second quarter, 32-17. Right? We won the third quarter. We came out, tried to play rough and tough in the third quarter. We won it 32-26. Quarter number 4, we lost it 32-31. Final score 129-97, Utah Jazz. And let's just keep taking a look at this, because it's bad. You see the biggest lead by the Utah Jazz, 46 points. 46 points. The Knicks never led. Okay, we tied the game early in the game. We tied it twice, but the Knicks never led. We got killed on the boards, 60-35. All right, killed, 60-35 on the boards. Utah Jazz had 30 assists. Ricky Rubio wasn't even playing in the game. Still had 30 assists. 17 assists for the New York Knicks. 10 steals for the Knicks. 8 steals for the Utah Jazz. The Knicks only had 1 block. All right, Mitchell Robinson is still out with an ankle injury. 1 block for the New York Knicks. 6 blocks for the Utah Jazz. The Knicks had 15 turnovers. The Jazz 17. Now let's look at the shooting. The Knicks shot 37.2% from the field. The Utah Jazz shot 54.8%. They made 51 shots. They were 51-93. The Knicks, on the other hand, made 32 shots, 32 of 86. The Knicks shot very well from the three-point line. We're 15 for 32. Half of our made shots were from the three-point line. Shot 46.9% from the three-point line. The Utah Jazz shot very well as also. They shot 44.4% from the three-point line, 16 for 36. The Knicks went to the line 22 times. They made 18 of them for 81.8%. And the Utah Jazz were 11 for 14 for 78.6%. And the difference in the game, the Knicks only made 32 field goals. The Jazz made almost 20 more field goals than the New York Knicks. You make 20 more field goals than the team, you're going to win by 40, which is just about what happened with the Knicks tonight. All right, let's take a look at the box scores before we continue talking about this game. Kevin Knox played 41 minutes, had 12 points, 5 rebounds. Noah Vonleh, 13 points, 9 rebounds. Luke Cornett, second start of the season, third start of his career. He had 14 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists for Luke Cornett. 2 turnovers, 1 steal. Tim Hardaway Jr. Had 18 points. He shot 38.5% from the field. You know, he did Tim Hardaway things. He was 2 points. He had 2 rebounds and 5 turnovers. Emmanuel Mudiay. And, you know, there was stuff on Twitter about Emmanuel Mudiay matching up against Donovan Mitchell. You know, and whose numbers were better, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you know, bottom line, Donovan Mitchell plays for a better team than Emmanuel Mudiay. You know, Mudiay is putting up decent numbers, though. I'm not going to put anything. I'm not trying to put Mudiay down. I'm just saying. But Emmanuel Mudiay, 13 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists. Lance Thomas played 7 minutes, had 2 points. Frank Ntilikina played 16 minutes, had 2 points on 1 monstrous dunk. But he was 1 for 7 from the field. Beyond that, 2 rebounds. Alonzo Trier played 21 minutes. He had 2 points. He was 1 for 8 from the field, 2 assists, 2 turnovers. And as Cantor played 17 minutes, had 0 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Damian Dotson, 9 points. Trey Burke had 12 points. He played 7 minutes, had 12 points, 4 for 5 from the field, 1 assist. And, it was just an awful night for the New York Knicks. We take a look at the Utah Jazz, who were hot all over the board, right? Ingles he played 20 minutes. He only had 6 points. He had 3 assists, 4 turnovers. Derek Favors, 12 points, 10 rebounds. Rudy Gobert, 25 points, 16 rebounds. Donovan Mitchell, 15 points, 5 rebounds. Dante Exum, 13 points, 13 assists. Kyle Korver had 15 points. Cephalosha had 10 points and 10 rebounds. These guys were just playing basketball all over the court. You know what I'm saying? All over the court. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin' with you?
Hey, what's going on, Sam?
I'm chilling, man. How you doing? How was your holiday?
Oh, mine was good, man. It was really good. How was yours, man?
It was great. It was great. I had a wonderful time with the family. And then, of course, we went out and, my basketball team, we went on a basketball tournament. We didn't win the tournament, but, we came away with some, we did some positive things. We did some good things that's going to, help us to move forward. We didn't look as bad as the New York Knicks did, so we didn't look as bad as the Knicks did.
Hey, listen, man, I don't look as bad as I could play for the Knicks right now.
You might be able to, man. You might be able to because, hey, and you know what? You might get a chance to because when we do that when we go to that Martin Luther King game, I've been talking with the Knicks about us being able to get on the floor and shoot some free throws or something on the floor. So you might be able to get on the Garden floor.
You know I'm Eddie Curry, baby. You know that?
You might be able to get on the Garden floor. You know what I mean?
It's over. Don't let me get on the court. Don't let me bless the court one time for the one time.
Yeah, so we might be able to, and I'm gonna try to take it a step further than that. You know what I mean? We might be able to get on the floor, shoot some free throws, take some pictures down there on the Garden floor. I'm gonna try to push it a step further. We'll see how it goes from there. But anyway, what you think about the game?
The game.
Talk to me.
Oh man, game. Yeah. There was a game today?
There was a game.
That was a game?
If that's what you want to call it. It was something.
It was something. It was, we knew this was coming. I'll say that. We knew it was coming when it came to the Knicks in this kind of game. I kind of expected it to happen. I thought it's probably going to happen in Denver too, but I thought Denver was going to do it because Denver always blows us out. But, The Jazz that score like what? I don't know how they don't score a lot of points, but they scored a lot of points a day.
They scored a lot of points
no
against
defense.
us.
And you know what's crazy, man? I agree with you about Cantor. He only played 8 minutes. It was really Luke. Luke was letting everybody do. Listen, I'll say it like this: Luke made Ruby Gobert look like Shaq in 2000. Hey, look, Shaq in 2000 against the Pacers.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's just one of those games where it's like you can't even, I wasn't even looking at the game to win. I'm just looking about the players who are playing good. Knox played 40 minutes. I don't think he should be playing 40 minutes.
He's young, man. He's young. Get him out there on the floor. I say let him go. Put him out there on the floor. Let him play. Why not? He's got young legs.
Yeah, well, you're right now. Our guards couldn't play. None of our guards came to show up. Alonzo's hitting the rookie role right now. I just want everybody to know that. Zoe's hitting the rookie role. Yeah, man, it was one of these games where it's just like, the definition of sucking is that we sucked.
Right.
And it showed. And I said it before, man. Me, you, and Mark went through the games of what we're gonna win. We legit. I think we even said maybe 6 games. You might be able to pull up for the rest of the year.
I think it was 9 games for the remainder of the year. I think we said we get 9 of them.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, man. We knew this was going to be a tough month for us. I can't wait to enjoy the Thunder game, though, man. It's going to be fun. All of us.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, man. We have 10 tickets left for that game. 10 tickets left.
So did you ever get my message? Because I bought the tickets, but I was just making sure my dad could get a seat.
Yeah. I thought I responded back to you. He's going to have a seat. Don't worry about it.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah, man. I'm about to hop in the chat. Talk to my people, talk to Gamma and all them. I'm about to hop in right now.
We about to get back to the chat. We got some people in the chat. We about to get back to the chat, and so we can get some, I know some people got some things to say, so we about to get back over there right now.
Yeah, I'm about to hop in there on the chat too right now.
All right, cool. In the chat, we got Siobhan Robinson in the chat. I think first time in the video chat, we got C-Dog in the chat. Ron Cleveland joined us in the chat. So let's see what these guys talk about, man. We're gonna start with Ron. Ron, what's popping, man? What's going on with you? Hey, Ron Cleveland, can you hear me? I don't know if Ron can hear me.
Hey.
Oh, there you go. What's going on, Ron? What's up with you, bro?
Man. Them?
Yeah.
Hey, I got an indictment, man, to put on the table, man.
Uh-oh. What's this?
I'm indicting the coach, man.
Uh-oh. You done with him. You done with Fizz. That's what you're saying. You done with him.
I'm not done with him, but the case is building. The case is building, man.
Okay.
I'm looking at us defensively.
Uh-huh.
We do not. I'm sorry. I don't see nobody on that team that really tries hard on the defensive end, man, other than Dotson. And Ntilikina defense done suffered because they're trying to get him to play offense so much. But as a whole, man, we look terrible. And Enes Kanter, tonight, he wasn't really the culprit as a whole, but he is on most nights. So when I look at us, man, defensively, we're terrible. And the problem with our team, man, Sim, really, the reason why we're going to continue to get in these ruts with scoring, we don't have scores. We don't have shooters on our team. And we have a bunch of players that's on these 1-year contracts that's trying to play for another deal. So we're not even playing as a team. If you look at how we play basketball, it looked like a pickup game.
It does. Yeah, I mean, basically it is right now.
And I'll say this for Fizz, man, as much as I want to indict him, I fully can't indict him neither because of the fact, now, if you got all these players on 1-year deals, Sam, think about this. How can you really fully implement a system with players that you don't even know whether or not they're going to be there?
Yeah, Fizdale has a tough job right? He has a tough job because you got young players that you got to try to develop. Yeah, you got young players you got to try.
Tim Hardaway and other players when they ain't playing good neither.
Yeah,
don't just check Frank.
Yeah, I feel you.
When he coming down jacking up 3-pointers with nobody under the basket, 2 seconds into the shot clock.
I feel you. But yeah, Fizdale has a tough job. You got young players that you got to get on the floor. You got vets that he's probably trying to, help them make sure that they get on the floor so that they can get seen, so that they can get their next contract. Try to keep them happy. It's a tough situation. I remember the way early in the season we talked about a little bit whether or not having so many vets on 1-year deals, if it can be poisonous to the team. And I don't know if it's. Fizz continues to say that all the players are on board with what's happening, and they all come to work with their hard hat on and they're professional and this and that and this and that. You know what? That happens. You got the first half of the season and, they're like, okay, let's see what's going on. Eventually, though, if it were me, I'm not going to lie to you. If it were me, eventually I'd be like, look, something got, either you're going to play me, you're not going to play me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm getting jerked around and this is my career we're talking about. We have several players on the team that, this is their career.
Yeah.
This is their career.
It's either they play good this year or they may be gone out of the league.
Exactly. This is their career, man. It's really sad, man, when you look at us to see how far our team has fallen. But I'm predicting this, man. I think we're gonna probably be the second worst team in the league by the time it's all done this year. Like we'll be in that second pick. Might even be first. Man, we might be the first pick. We might be the worst team in the league. Let me get around.
We just might be the worst team, man.
Yeah, we might be the worst team.
Sad because my thing is, you played ball, Sim, I played ball, and a lot of the guys in this chat and people that post, they played basketball. And what hurts me as a baller and a competitor, man, I've never wanted my guy to be scoring all over me.
Yeah.
I felt if you made one shot in front of me, you're making me look bad.
Right. Right.
So that's the one thing you can control. You can't control being able to shoot. Everybody can't shoot, but you can play defense.
Yeah,
you can play defense. That's a want-to, man.
Yeah, you got it.
I see players out there lollygagging on the defensive end, man, not running through the screens. Sometimes, what I wish they would do, Sim? I wish one time when that screener tried to screen and block them, where they just try to run through the screener.
Yeah.
Just to hit them so they can think twice about setting the screen in front of them.
Yeah, man. Let me get on. Let me check out some of these other guys, Ron. I'll be back to you. All right. Big shout out to CLTA. Thank you for the super chat. You said, I want to see Mark go off. Mark, and then CL wants to see you go off. But you know what? Mark only goes off when he feels like going off. It's never like he doesn't plan to go off. He just kind of, he starts talking and he gets into it and gets into his feelings and then he starts going off. So I don't know. CL again says Boutier he said Boutier, meaning Moutier, is fool's gold. Don't pay him a cent of salary. And then he told Ron to preach. Said that too many contract year players, and that could be a problem. That's usually a problem on any team when you have a lot of contract year players. That's definitely an issue that you got to watch out for. You know what I mean? Let's I'm gonna get to Siobhan, man. This is Siobhan's first time in the chat. You know what I mean? And so we want to give Siobhan a big welcome for being in the video chat. Siobhan, what's popping, man? Can you hear me?
Yo, what's good with you? You all right?
I'm good, man. Cool. What's up with you, man? Thank you. First of all, thank you for hitting me. You hit me with a lot of super chats. I appreciate that, man. So thank you very much for that. And we appreciate you coming into the video chat too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how was your holidays and everything, man?
Yeah, everything's good, man. This Christmas been good. Everything good, bro.
Good.
But like I said, but damn, man.
Damn, that's I know, right? Damn, I know. I feel you. It's like, all right, you know what?
Yeah.
We losing, but come on, man. At least
My thing is, wait, this Utah got Utah. So we wasn't gonna. I didn't expect us to beat Utah.
no.
Like they defense is A1, but 46 points. We made the offense look like Golden State.
Exactly.
Kyle Korver hit like he Klay Thompson. Like it's crazy.
It was crazy. And I mean, and you look, Jay Crowder is out.
Check it.
Say that again. You're breaking up a little bit.
We cut 6. Hold on, I can't mute anybody else. And then we put. So the minute Cantor got back in there, they fucking went up.
They went up. Yeah. We cut the lead. I mean, we had even cut the lead down to 22. We got it down to 22.
Yeah, it was 22.
Yeah, and then we let
22.
them. Right. And then
the second unit got back in there, we got walked.
Yeah. I mean, this is, you know, I mean, I get it. You know, people want to tank, but even the people that want to tank, right, and the very essence of the word have to be like, okay, I get it, but we don't have to do this. You know what I mean? You tell me.
At the end of the day, we all Knicks fans, and we try. Like, I want the team to get better.
Right.
Like, even the tanksters, they want the team to get better.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
But there's no we can't take anything from this game. Like, nobody played good, nobody got better. Like,
yeah,
I'm pro tank, but this was disgusting.
It was, and that was my next question. What are the takeaways from this game? Are there any takeaways from this game? Nothing we can take away from this game. I don't know if there is, because I mean, this game was just trash all the way around. You know, when I look at the numbers, I just don't see a player that was really productive for us. I mean,
facts.
I mean, Noah Vonleh, he had 13 points, 9 rebounds. Maybe he's the only productive player. As a matter of fact, he probably is. He's the only player on the Knicks team. Him and Trey Burke were the only 2 players that were in the positive with the plus minus. Everybody else was in the negative. The only players that were in the positive.
Yep.
In the plus minus. Noah Vonleh had 13 points. He shot 60% from the field, had 9 rebounds. Trey Burke really didn't get in until, you know, the end of the game, garbage time, and he had 12 points. Yeah. Let me get over here to C-Dog, see what C-Dog is talking about, man. C-Dog,
what's up?
I
have a question first about the MLK game.
Yeah,
I bought the tickets and they got some 4 o'clock starting time on there, but I know it started 12:30.
Yeah. Don't worry about that. That's probably just a mix up with
okay.
You know, putting the information in. Don't worry about that. The game starts at like 12:30, but we're gonna have a conference call where we get everybody on the call and talk about the game stuff. So,
all right. Yeah, well, tonight's game, it was a waste of 2.5 hours.
Right.
Which means that I only watched about the first quarter, and that was it.
Yeah, man.
You know, halftime, it was like 60-something to 28. It was a wrap. I didn't even have to watch the third and the fourth quarter. The defense stuck from the beginning.
Yeah.
Until they find somebody that can play defense, a point guard, I mean, they're gonna have it rough, because every team knows you can run the pick and roll with Cantor's man, because he likes to hang under the basket. You can run the pick and roll with Hardaway's man, because his defense sucks. And then Moutier can't guard nobody. So that's 3 people. They playing with too many scrubs in the lineup.
Yeah.
It's hard to win like that.
Yeah, you can't win like that. Right. You can't win like that.
Who am I to call them scrubs because they pros, but that's everything.
But I mean, you know, compared to other pros though, you know what I'm saying? Compared to other pros, they're scrubs. Yeah.
I know they looking at me like, yeah.
Right.
But still, defense is crummy.
Yeah, but let me ask you: is there anything that you think we can take away from this? What is there anything to take away from this?
Tonight's game, no, not to take away from it.
Nah.
Well, they got it. It was good exercise. Nothing went good.
Right, it was good exercise.
That's it. Nothing went good tonight. And don't even try to take nothing away. Hey, tonight's game got us all together tonight.
Yeah.
Other than that, when is their next game?
Next game is next game is versus Denver on New Year's Day. I believe it's on New Year's Day.
They got they got a big center too. They're gonna have to play these guards know they can take advantage of us on the pick and roll.
Yeah, and let me tell you, when we're talking about Denver, we're gonna get to Denver later on, but when we talk about Denver, Utah coming into this game, the Utah Jazz average 107 points per game, right? And we gave up 129 points. We gave up 129 points. Now, when we're talking about the Denver Nuggets, right? The Denver Nuggets, they got the best record in the West. All right.
That means the Knicks will play good.
Yeah, it might mean that the Knicks play good. You might be right about that, but I feel like the Knicks are. I don't know, man. I asked the question whether or not we hit rock bottom. I don't even know if we've hit rock bottom yet. I think there's going to be worse. More.
I mean, I'm not frustrated because I knew we were going to suck. KP hasn't played all year.
Uh-huh.
You playing with too many inferior guys. So you're going to get what you get.
Yeah.
It seemed like we won more than 9. We only won 9 games.
Only won 9 games. The Utah Jazz had the 5th.
Are happy.
Yeah. Yeah, they're happy.
What's so funny about it is that we don't have to tank to lose because we got shitty players to begin with.
Yeah, you don't have to tank to lose. You're going to lose anyway. Right.
When they lost that game in the beginning of the year to the Nets, I knew it wasn't going to be good.
Right.
And it turned out the Nets was all right. And
the Utah Jazz,
they almost 500.
Yeah, the Utah Jazz coming into this game have the 5th best defense in the league coming into this game. All right, they give up 100 defensive rating at 105. The Denver Nuggets, we're going to play Denver Nuggets next. Their defensive rating is 105.4. They're the 7th best defensive team in the league. So we could be looking at a very, very similar game. Now, will the Knicks shoot as bad against the Denver Nuggets? Probably not. They might shoot a little bit better. The Knicks average, they shoot like 44% from the field. Maybe they get a little bit closer to their average. We'll see. They shoot a little bit closer to the average. It might not be a 46-point game at some point. It might just be a 36-point game. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not expecting a win. I'm just expecting them to play better and hoping that they play better, coming up in the next, against the Denver Nuggets. We'll see what's happening. We'll see what's going on. So we got Isaiah in the video chat. Isaiah, any takeaways from this game? Anything? Any takeaways whatsoever?
Any takeaways? Oh man, Sim, that's tough. Any takeaways? If I was David Fizdale, I'd be like, okay, this is our rock bottom. It's almost hard to be worse than this.
Yeah.
So if I had to be a positive, I mean, of course, when you're a coach, you got to be positive. You'd be like, well, we played like crap. I don't think we could play worse than this. So the only way from here is up. So
yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna unmute Mark. See what Mark says. Mark, any takeaways? Do you have any takeaways?
Yo, Sim. Honestly, bro, you reaching for a takeaway, bro. There was not one thing to be taken away from this game. This was just complete trash work.
We gotta be positive, Mark.
We was trash tonight.
I have one takeaway, but I'll wait until I talk. I'll wait till I talk.
Wait, hold on. I got one. Frank dunked on Gobert.
Okay.
What did he say?
That dunk.
Right.
I wish he could do it more often.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, that dunk was good though. That dunk was good.
Yeah, it was a nice dunk. He was 1 for 7. But
wait, Sim. We want him to be more aggressive. People complain about him not taking shots.
I'll tell you what my takeaway is. and this is if I'm Steve Mills and I ain't gonna tell you. I'm gonna wait to hear from Guillermo. All right. Guillermo, any takeaways from this game?
Guillermo look like Frank Ocean. Takeaways?
Yeah.
You got a bunch of players who need a system, man. That's the only takeaway I see, man.
Any positive takeaway I'll say. Any positive takeaway? One
positive takeaway I'll say. You got to get your big men more involved in the offense. You got to, if you talking about giving these guys confidence, look, this boy, even though tonight wouldn't have been a good example just because Gobert's such a defensive beast down low, Vonleh in the past game, I think it was, he was hitting some big shots and he was doing that thing where he does his little ugly, pound to the basket, back to basket, move smaller guys. They need to have him feature more the offense. The same thing with Cornette. Cornette as a space five.
I love him.
He can hit those threes. When he starts hitting those threes, Sim, that creates trouble, man. And if you could pull out a guy like Gobert and pull these bigger men outside of perimeter and make it easier for guys.
Yeah.
Hey, I like Cornette, man. And hey, more Cornette, less Canner. That's a takeaway.
Okay, I see you, boy.
Yeah. I mean, you know what, Guillermo? My only takeaway from this game is from Scott Perry and Steve Mills. And I don't have any positive takeaways. My only takeaway is that I start taking away checks.
Hey,
that's it.
I like that.
Start taking away checks. Because,
I like that.
I mean, come on, man. You NBA players, right? You don't have to win the game. Get on the floor and play. That's all I'm asking, dude. Get on the floor and play. Show some improvements. Show some progress. If not, start taking away checks, man. Take the checks away. They'll get on the floor and play.
Cantor needs to sit.
Take their checks away.
There needs to be a social media policy. If you put anything that talks bad about our team, like during the game or before, like directly before a game because of a coaching decision, you don't play for the next 3 games, man.
Yeah.
And the team suffers because of you.
I feel you. And I think, I don't know. Fizdale got to toughen up a little bit. He'll toughen up. I think hopefully he'll toughen up. He'll toughen up a little bit. I hope.
Wait, you're hoping who toughens up?
Fizdale toughens up on the players a little bit. I think just starting to feel like he's a little bit too friendly, like we talked about early. He needs to toughen up on the players.
Yo, Isaiah said the car salesman.
Yeah,
he does like a car salesman. Yo, look. But Sim, hey, but the reason why I disagree, I think because he had such a bad ending with the Grizzlies. I think, and because it's New York, I think he's starting to let the pressure go to his head. He's not. We were just talking about this when you're on the phone, right? We said, look at the difference between him and Atkinson with the Nets. Now they think that Atkinson has more talent on that team. But what I said is that when you have guys who aren't as pressured, where there's a little bit less of a profile on you, they can coach a little bit more. And I think what Fizdale's doing is that he's playing too much by the business. Hey, we're going to set this up for Kevin Durant. We're going to hope to get a draft pick versus, hey, I'm going to coach. And if we lose by 50, but if I have these guys slowly playing to a system and we start losing by 50, then maybe 30, then maybe guys start to get it. I think he's scared of that bad error happening. So he's playing a little bit safer, nice for everybody. I think that's the biggest difference between him and guys like Atkinson and some of these guys with these lower profile teams are actually showing some modicum of success.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know, man. I don't know. I hate to do it. I hate to do it, guys. You guys know how much, I hate to do it, but we're at that point, man. We are at that point where we got to start looking at these Tinkathon standings. We're at the point,
Sim.
Man.
Hey, but you already knew what's happening.
Yeah, I know, but we're at the point.
And we're going to make the wrong decision. Watch, everybody in the chat, I put money on it. We're going to get, this is the year we're going to get the first round draft, or the first number 1 draft pick, and we're going to take Zion, and he's going to be a bust. I'm putting it. The chat room, mark this down. Zion Williamson, the last time I checked, I don't know what he's shooting now. This boy was shooting 14.3% from 3. The dude is 6'7", 6'8", can only charge the basket. He's basically a Sean May with hops and speed. He's a fatter Stromile Swift. I'm telling y'all, mark my word, chat room. Zion's going to be a bust, man. Trust. Y'all hoping for him, man.
Well,
I'm telling you.
I mean, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the Tankathon standings, man. It's like pulling teeth for me right now. You know what I mean? I don't want to look at Tankathon standings. That's not what I want to do. But I got to, because this is where we are and who we are. You know what I mean? This is where we are and who we are. So we got to look at these Tankathon standings. Look at the chat.
We're done, man. We're done. We're done.
Look at the chat. They're happy about it. They're happy about it. They feel good about it. This is what we got to do, though. All right, let's bring it on over here. Here we go, man. Look at this. Right now, looking at the Tankathon standings, the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I don't want it. I don't want Zion, bro. Mark.
The Cleveland Cavaliers.
Right. As long as you say that, I don't want Zion. The one I want is Kevin Porter Jr., but I don't think we'll ever make.
Oh, that's it. You want Kevin Porter Jr. Well, I mean,
he's not a great shooter too, but he can. See him slash to the basket. That boy, he got hard, man. He can play, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not even looking at players yet. I'm not even looking at players yet, but I guess I'm gonna get there. You guys, it's like pulling teeth. I'm gonna get there. But looking at the 2019 Tankathon standings right now, the Knicks are second behind the Cleveland Cavaliers. Right? We are second. We are number 2 on Tankathon right now behind the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers are 8-29. The New York Knicks are 9-28. The Cavaliers have lost 6 in a row. The Knicks have lost 7 in a row. And right now we're on a race. That top 3 doesn't really matter. Right? It doesn't really matter. Everyone in the top 3 has a 14% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick. It has a 14% chance. If you're number 4, you have a 12.5% chance. If you're number 6, you have a 9% chance. If you're number 7, you have a 7.5% chance. Number 8, you have a 6% chance, so on and so forth. Brooklyn's at number 9, they got a 4.5% chance. Watch out for the Washington Wizards now. Right? Because the Washington Wizards just lost John Wall for the season. They'll be moving up in the Tankathon standings. Right? John Wall is done for the season. So, their season they were 14-23 with John Wall. Well, who knows? Maybe they'll get better without him. I don't know. But they were 14-23 with John Wall. I'm pretty sure the Washington Wizards are going to be ready to throw the season down the toilet. Right? Throw the season down the toilet. So they'll probably be moving up, trying to get up into that top 3 as well. The Knicks are in a battle for the bottom of the standings. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks are in the bottom 3 in the league. And I'll be honest with you, I don't see it. No matter if we prepare for teams or not, right? If we come out with the best game plan possible, I'm sorry, I don't know why I can't speak right now. We're not going to win. If we have the best game plan possible, we're not going to win. It doesn't matter what we do. This team is going to be in the top 3 in draft picks. It just is what it is. We're going to be in the top 3. What do we do? I hate it, but it is what it is. What do we do? Is there any situation where you trade that top 3 draft pick? Anybody out there? Is there any situation where you make that kind of a move? Knowing who we already have on the squad, or do you just go ahead and you say no? I'm drafting. Is there any situation? I mean, maybe it's just way too early to even think about it or talk about it. Based on tonight's game, I don't know if there's anything too early to talk about when it comes time for the draft. You know what I mean? Famous, you say AD. You say you would trade that number 1 pick for AD. I don't know. Maybe not. You know, I really got to study these guys in the draft. I know some of you guys have studied them. I'm definitely going to be studying them. Right? Let me give a shout out to a couple people who hit me with a super chat. Chester said 3 players on the team play defense. Fizz can't play just 3 players. You're right about that, Chester. That you can't just play 3 players. And then CLTA says, ask chat, does KP come back this year? I think KP does come back this year. And I'm going to answer that for you. I think KP does come back. He's not going to come back and be, he'll come back and start getting 30 minutes. But I think he comes back just to get his feet wet. That's what I would do. You know, from the Knicks, I'm bringing back, you know, when he's ready, of course. I bring him back just to get his feet wet. You know, I don't like him being out a whole almost 2 years. A year and a half, almost 2 years without getting his feet wet with NBA competition, and then expect him to come back at the beginning of next season and be the same KP. You know what I mean? But anyway, back to the question that I was asking. Any way that you move that number 1 pick, if we got the number 1 pick, right? I see some people, or even if it's number 2 or number 3, right? I see some people in the chat say that they will. Soul Gold says only for Anthony Davis. That's it. Otherwise, you keep the number 1. Let me see. Soul Gold says, he says that the Celtics got 4 picks. 4 picks for. So are you saying you'll take 4 picks for the number 1? I don't know. I guess. P Sky says absolutely for AD, first pick. Knox, Frank, and Hardaway for Anthony Davis. Famo says for Anthony Davis only. I guess we got to see how that whole thing plays out. Anthony Davis could be on his way to LA. You never know. I guess we got to see how that whole thing plays out. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, Tankathon standings. The Knicks are number 2 behind the Cleveland Cavaliers at 9-28. And we're quickly moving our way up the Tankathon charts. Or the Tankathon rankings, whatever you want to call it. We're quickly moving our way up. The New York Knicks play the Denver Nuggets on Tuesday. Right? Play the Denver Nuggets on Tuesday. And the Cleveland Cavaliers play. Who do the Cavaliers play? I'm going to pull that up. And then, of course, the Phoenix Suns are right behind the New York Knicks in the Tankathon standings. Right behind the Knicks in the Tankathon standings. Tonight, the Cleveland Cavaliers, 8-29. They lost to the Atlanta Hawks, who, although we smacked them opening night and a few other times twice throughout the season, we are now worse than the Atlanta Hawks. Something that I didn't believe was going to happen this season, but obviously we are. The Cleveland Cavaliers' next game is probably, I'm pulling it up right now. I don't know. The Cavaliers play. When do they play? Looks like they got some time off. Cavaliers' next game is versus Miami on Wednesday, January 2nd, at home versus Miami. Miami Heat are 17-17. The Cavaliers are 8-29. So, there's a good chance that, by the time we get to Wednesday, January 2nd, the Knicks could have the worst record in the league. And by the time we finish this stretch of games, we will have the worst record in the league. I can guarantee you that. I want to see what the video chat thinks about the possibility of moving that number 1 pick. Right? Do you only move it for AD? Or do you definitely keep it? I think I know what Guillermo thinks. Let's see what some other people think. I'm gonna come to Isaiah got his hand raised. Let's see what Isaiah says. Then I'm gonna come to Mark. Then I'm gonna come to Siobhan. Isaiah,
I like you. I love you too, Mark. I love you too. God bless you.
Isaiah, what do you think, man? Would you any chance that you move that number 1 pick?
Okay, Sim. Can we get this out of their way first? No. The Pelicans will not accept a trade for the number one pick for Tim Hardaway, our number one pick, and Frank. Stop it. I love Frank, but stop it. The Pelicans would be the biggest idiots in the world to do that, to trade an MVP for that bunch of crap of a collection of a trade asset. That's a bunch of crap right now.
Okay. But would you move that pick at all?
Okay, listen to this, and I know people gonna kill me, but listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, Sim.
Okay.
I listened to actually shout out to Knicks Film School and Jonathan Marcia or whatever his name is.
Jonathan Macri.
Yo, he's a real good guy, real good analyst, and I like listening to him. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie to you, Sim. Zion is catching me. Gambo, listen. I like what I'm hearing about the defense with Zion. I like what I'm hearing about it.
Okay.
I like what I'm hearing about Zion. I'm sorry, man. I like what I'm hearing, and it is it's risky. It's definitely risky when it comes to Zion, because Zion's gonna definitely land as a boom or bust. That's gonna be Zion. He's gonna be a boom or bust kind of player. But I'm not gonna lie to you, Sim. I'm gonna go with. I think Zion might boom. I think he will. He has the defensive chops, and I think he can be. Now the shooting, that's real. I won't even hold you, Sim. The shooting is real with Zion.
Right.
He can't shoot right now, but he rebounds, and we definitely need a rebounder.
Uh-huh.
And I think he's loud and he has energy.
Okay.
And I think he'll be good. But here's my other thing. If we do got the number one pick and we don't want Zion, my thing is, this is what I would do. I would trade with the Cavaliers, because I know for a fact the Cavaliers are going to be very thirsty to get a pick. And they're going to be thirsty to get Zion, because they want to replace LeBron James. So this is what you do. If you got the number one pick and the Cavs in the top 3, you trade back with the Cavs and get the next year's draft pick from the Cavs. And dang, Mark, let me finish. Go ahead. And this is what I would do. This is what I do. Then Mark can go.
All right, go ahead. I'm waiting to hear.
Like I said, if the Cavs in the top 3 and we got number one, you trade with the Cavs, because the Cavs are going to be thirsty for Zion. You get their next year round pick. Basically what the Boston Celtics did to the Sixers. You trade down, in my opinion, you get Cam Reddish, and then you have a next year's top. It's going to be a top 3 pick, while we could actually possibly be good. That's what I would do.
Okay. That's what you
now Mark can go, since he wanted to interrupt me every 5 seconds.
All right. Mark, what do you think, Mark?
All right, let me break it down for y'all now, and let's be smart about it. You see, with this number one pick, right? With this number one pick, I want to use it to fleece a team, right?
Right. Okay.
So at the standings where it's at right now, right? I'm looking for a team with valuable assets, and right now Phoenix is the team, right, with the wings and the talent, the young talent that they have. Mm-hmm. What I would do, because I want to have the first round pick to fleece a team, but I don't want to pick someone at number one. You get what I'm saying? I'd rather be the 4th, 5th pick. So what I would do, or the 3rd pick, what I would do is ask Phoenix for Mikal Bridges and Josh Jackson, those 2 wing players, and their 3rd pick for our number one, because these teams want Zion. These teams are really high on Zion. So what I would do, I would take that. I would take Phoenix in assets, what they would give me back, because next year a lot of these players ain't gonna be here. So I'm looking for assets and players that can play. So when I watch Josh Jackson and Mikal Bridges, those are valuable wings that can shoot and defend. And with the Phoenix pick, I would either go for Bobo or Kevin Porter Jr. That's what I would do, because I'm afraid to pick at number one. Honestly, even if it wasn't for Zion, I don't want RJ Barrett, because he's a nut. I don't think he makes anyone better around him when I watch him. Cam Reddish, I'm iffy about him, because I wish he'd have went to another team to really see his talent, and I don't want to pick somebody like that because this draft pick is another important, valuable pick for us. So what I would do, I would trade for assets and then pick the player that I really want, which is Bobo or Kevin Porter Jr. at number 3. That's what I would do.
Okay. All right. So you'd be willing to trade down.
Yeah,
right?
Because we could fleece a team. Because I don't want to pick Zion. Zion's not good for us unless we have like KD or another max player. Then I would pick him. Yeah, but I wouldn't take him. I wouldn't take him to be the next guy to change our culture. No, I don't think he's that. I think he's more of wherever he falls with a good team, he will be great. But I don't think he's the guy who's going to lead the charge. So what I would do, because I would prefer Bobo because I like his skill set, and he could go from 4 to 5 and defend the rim and shoot and space the floor and could put it on the floor like a guard. If anybody watched Bobo in college that plays for Oregon, and I would rather have that to have behind KP because Mitchell ain't ready. He ain't gonna be ready for the next 3 years. He ain't gonna be ready, and we're gonna need a center to defend because we can't defend at the rim. So I would prefer to have those two back courts with those young Josh Jackson and Mikal Bridges for a team to defend, and we'll be able to defend the way we would want to defend.
Okay, all right. Let me see what Siobhan thinks. Siobhan, what would you do? Would you keep that number 1 pick? Would you trade down? Would you be willing to move it if we were to get the number 1 pick? Right now, we have a 14% chance of getting the number 1 pick.
I trade down simply because Zion is nice, but it's like Ben Simmons, where teams could just sag off him and dare him to shoot, and he's bricking it. Like teams in the NBA could play for Zion. Like,
so you don't think you don't think that Zion can develop that shot? You're breaking up on me. You're breaking up on me, man.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're still breaking up. You might have to, maybe move the mic a little closer or something. I don't know what's up. Oh yeah, I'm not hearing you. I'm gonna come back to you. I'm gonna come back to you, man. I'm gonna come back to you. Let me get to this phone call. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey Sim, this is Chester. How you doing?
Chester, I'm good. What's going on with you, man?
No, nothing. Just trying to recover from the holidays.
Yeah, how was your holiday?
Holidays were good for me. So I'm like wondering why people are like ragging on Fizz. You can't like make a silk purse out of a pig's ear. The players that the Knicks have are just not that good. They're incomplete players. There's 3 players that I think can play defense on the team, and if the other players aren't playing defense, then it's a lost cause. As far as team defense is concerned.
Yeah.
And Tim Hardaway is like, I can't believe that he's in the NBA. He can't dribble more than 2 times in a row without losing the ball or having taken away from him. He doesn't play defense, and I just don't understand it. And if he's being covered, he can't hit a 3-point shot.
Yeah.
I think he's there just because of his name. It's unbelievable. This is what Fizz has to deal with. And, what do you think?
The one about Tim Hardaway, I kind of agree with you, man. I think that Tim Hardaway is there simply because, I don't know if I want to say simply, but I think the relationships with his father and, the way things, the history that he has, not only with Scott Perry and Steve Mills, but I think also with David Fizdale. Let's not forget, David Fizdale was in Miami for a while with Tim Hardaway running around as a little kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, those relationships run a little bit deep with Tim Hardaway, and I think that's part of the reason why he's here and is probably going to be here for a little while.
Yeah.
And
with his contract, nobody's going to take him.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
and that clearly is going to hurts the Knicks, man.
Yeah.
It hurts the Knicks because Tim Hardaway. I understand what Steve Mills. I understand what Steve Mills was trying to do with Tim Hardaway. I think that Steve Mills thought that they were finding a player that was getting ready to explode, and that if we get him now, and the contract may look steep now, but 4 years from now, it's not going to be steep at all, and he's going to be a value player. I think that's what he was looking to try to do, right? Is to get a player that, his contract was maybe steep, not horrible, but steep. But then a few years from now, it's going to be a value, and it's not working out that way, in my opinion, with Tim Hardaway. And I think that, we were talking earlier, Guillermo and I, we were saying earlier that Fizdale needs to, hold some guys, hold more guys accountable than just some of those young guys. And I think Tim Hardaway is one of them. I think for, at least for me, I can't speak for everyone else. That's my biggest gripe with Fizdale. I understand he's not playing with players that are he's not playing with the greatest of players, and we're lacking in talent in a lot of areas on the floor. I just want to see him hold people accountable, right? Hold the right people accountable, not just the young guys all the time, but Tim Hardaway, in my opinion, needs to be held accountable. When Enes Kanter does some of the things that he does, he should be held accountable too. I know back in the day, Jim Dolan used to hold a tight ship when it came to publicity and speaking to the media and stuff like that. Now with social media, it's not much you can do. But it sounds like James Dolan is so tired of the Knicks, he's just like whatever and just getting away from it, whatever. So he's not really keeping that, he's not keeping that watchful eye there, I think. And I'm not saying that you got to have these crazy media rules. I'm just saying if a player, kind of talks about the team or says something or insinuates through social media or whatever that he doesn't like what the coach has done, you should do something. I don't know if it has to be anything major, but do something to let them know, listen, if you got a problem, come to the coach. Don't take it to the media, or especially not social media. You know what I mean? So I'd like to see a little bit of a tighter ship in that area, and just holding everyone accountable, not just the guys that aren't going to say anything. I feel like that's what happens sometimes. Frank's not going to say anything. Trey Burke strikes me as the kind of guy who's just going to, take what comes to him and try to deal with it. He's not going to say much. Someone like Lance Thomas isn't going to say much. Damian Dotson's not going to say much. Somebody like those two guys, Kanter and Hardaway, they're going to say what they feel because they feel like they've been in the league for a while. They're vets in the league and they've earned the right to say what they would like to say. Hardaway, he's been in the league for a little while. He's a young vet, and you can see when he's working out the circle of guys that he kind of puts himself in with, and he has friends there, and it's like the NBA is kind of cliquish. If you haven't noticed, it's kind of cliquish, and so he's got some respect around the league, and deserved or undeserved, he's got some respect around the league, and I think it's playing a part in this team, in my opinion. So yeah.
Oh yeah. I really miss the days when players just played and didn't say anything. They did their playing, doing their talking for them.
Yeah.
Vonleh's a force like that. He's forceful, and he lets his playing talk for him, just like Oakley used to do. He never talked trash to like the refs and stuff. It was just like he did his talking, but by how he played, he was a quiet bully.
Exactly.
As it is,
Exactly. He went out there and he did his thing.
And that I really miss that about the old players. I mean, Frazier played his whole career, never got a technical foul called on.
Right.
It's
right.
like it's ridiculous now. It's like they complain after every play, and it's I also think like the Knicks really get a real raw deal because they're so young. They don't get any calls from the refs whatsoever.
Oh, no.
None.
And they're not because we're so young, the youngest team in the league, and we don't get, we're not going to get that kind of respect from the referees at this point in their, the players aren't going to get that kind of respect from the referees at this point in their career. Yeah, I think we definitely get the raw end of the deal when it comes to the refs. But it's been like that for a long time too,
Yeah, I mean, it's not new or anything, but like Frank was like driving to the basket and this guy flopped and they called an offensive foul on Frank.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
That was a ridiculous
it's aggravating.
Yeah, that was a ridiculous call. I mean, the guy, he was moving his feet, he was still moving backwards, moving to the side or whatever. That should have been either a blocking call or a no call, in my opinion. In my opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah. But
all right.
I'm
gonna get off now.
Yeah,
I have to get on the chat, but
yeah. All right. But Chester, we're gonna see.
Looking forward to Martin Luther King.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna have some fun, man. Like I said, you might have heard earlier. We're gonna see if we can get on the court and maybe shoot some free throws or more. So we'll see what's up.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
It's gonna be fun. All right, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Have a happy New Year.
You too. Happy New Year to you.
Okay, bye.
All right, later. All right, folks. Guillermo, I didn't get a chance to ask you. I know you were, you're not crazy about drafting Zion. What do you think about moving that number 1 pick?
Hey, this is the first time in history I'm gonna agree with Mark 1,000%, man. You fleece a team like the Suns, and you get you get the second or third round, or probably the third because be the Cavs, Knicks, and then Suns probably. If you can trade a guy like Zion, look, this is the issue with the internet era, man. Mm-hmm. Zion has been getting this godlike treatment since high school because of highlights from YouTube. If you watch his game since high school, it hasn't improved. It's the same thing. Run to the basket, dunk, play good defense, whatever. And he's doing this a lot in Kaiser in high school. He's gonna bust. Be a terrible bust, I think, in my opinion. You trade that to the Suns for a few pieces like Mikal Bridges, like a 3-and-D player who I think is just in the wrong system with a team that doesn't really know what to do with him, and a guy like Josh Jackson who they're probably like, look, we can move on from him and focus more on Booker and Ayton. If you get those two and sell them this marquee name, whatever, and then you could draft a guy like Kevin Porter Jr. with KP, and then maybe a KD or whatever, that's not say a championship level team. That's a second round playoff team right there. If you have KD, KP, if you get KD, and you have Kevin Porter Jr. on that team, or Bol, who I think is good. I agree with Mark. I think he's a good player. He has a very unique skill set. I think he's better than Zion. You do that in an instant, man. I'm telling you all again, Zion's gonna bust. You trade him off the name, and you build up for the future, man. Because I don't think Sim, what are we gonna get for these kids on this team right now? The most you're going to get maybe is a second rounder for Moutier, maybe, because I'm seeing his name on Deadspin and Bleacher Report. People are saying how he's so improved and other stuff. You're not going to get much for these guys. Tim Hardaway, who really wants him? So, hey, I agree. You get this. Okay. You get the second, third, or the fourth pick. You get as many pieces as you can, man. Fleece these teams, man. We're not getting AD. AD's going to the Celtics because the Celtics have so many assets. You're not going to can't compete with that. So.
And I guess where I am is I just want to see how things start to shake out, because when it starts to get close to draft time, players start moving up and down. They start moving up and down the charts, right? And there may be a bunch of teams out there thinking some of the same things that we're saying right now, right? Some of the same things you're saying right now about Zion. They may be thinking the same thing and just waiting to see what happens and see how he develops or what happens with him. And then, certain players start to move up and down. So, we'll see what happens there. But I think, I'd be seriously thinking about it if I was the Knicks, though, and trying to really pull in pieces. And because you got some guys that can potentially be stars, right? And Knox and KP. If you want to add a third, then maybe you try to add a third. But, if you can start to fill out your team with pieces to put around these guys and then start to grow, and then you got money to add a third star, that could be the step to go, right? And you still get a player that could potentially be a star, right? That could potentially be an all-star, whatever you want to say. But you slide down, you get some other 2 or 3 pieces that can fill in some of those holes, right? And then now you say, okay, now we got a full team that we can really grow with, and we got Knox, we got KP, we still got the draft pick that's maybe 4 or 5, and then you got money for a free agent. That could be the way to really fill your team out.
So, this team doesn't have any dogs, man. And like I said, I like McCall when he was on Villanova. I'll take the Knox pick, but the thing about guys like McCall, when you put them in a certain role and you have them play a role, and there's no confusion as to what their talent is, and you give them a little space for them to grow, those are some of the best players in the team, man. Look at, early Draymond. I know Draymond's struggling now, but you need dogs on this team, man. The defense. You talking about defense? You have a guy like Josh Jackson and a guy like Mikal Bridges who can clog the lanes and get a bunch of blocks and a bunch of steals in the passing lanes. I mean, look, you don't need a guy to sit there and score 40 points a night, man. You're gonna win with defense and smart, sound shooting. So that's how I'll take it. I agree with Mark 1,000%, man. Yeah.
Hey, Guillermo, what do you think about this Denver game?
Why would you even ask me about why we just had a nice conversation about the future. Why are we talking about come on, we already know what Denver's gonna do. You have a sleeper MVP in always Jokic, whatever. Jokic, always Nurkic and Jokic. I know it's Jokic on Denver.
Jokic.
Always confused.
Yeah, Jokic.
The kid is looking disgusting. That shooting guard, the dude, the light-skinned dude always celebrates in front of people and does a lot of a-hole type of things. Can't remember the damn guard's name, but yeah, we're gonna get killed, man. That's a team. They're running on all cylinders right now. I mean, I didn't even know they were first in the West. That is crazy.
They are first in the West.
And remember, this was a team that a few years ago we were all laughing at because they had Brian Shaw and they didn't know what they were doing. And look what happens with good players and coaches.
And you know what? This is the thing. Everyone is always so concerned about these superstars, right? They really, you got Jokic, but they don't have a whole bunch of superstars on the team.
I'm going to look at that team right now. Hold on.
Right? It's not like they're just built with a team. They got like these 3 big superstars. They have a team. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, you got Michael Porter Jr., who... but
he's not even playing, though, right?
He's not even playing, but, who has the potential to be something one day. But they have a team. They're doing this... through a team aspect.
Very much so. They got Jokic, they got Murray, they got Gary Harris, they got Will Barton, who I forgot about. They got Millsap, who was probably an underrated addition.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we look at Mason Plumlee, who's a good defending center. Yeah, like you said, man, look, there's a team a few years ago, they were laughing stock. Brian Shaw, they would laugh him because he would do like rah stuff during timeouts and stuff, and people were like, what is this guy? And look, they came in, they have good coaching. Mike Malone, I think, came from the Jazz, right?
Right.
Yeah,
this is the how you want. This is the example of a team who understood what they wanted to do and how they wanted to play, and they went out and they found pieces and picked pieces from here, and here, and then they put them together on a team. You know what I'm saying? They didn't go out star chasing, right? They didn't. I mean, they didn't tank. They didn't try to just tank it out, right? And Michael Porter Jr. still fell to him, and we'll see how that plays out for him. But they built the team. You know what I'm saying? And they were horrible. They were a team. That everyone we always were compared to them. With the Melo trade and all this kind of stuff, and who won the Melo trade. And we were at a point where both teams were terrible, but they methodically had an idea of what they wanted to do, how they wanted to play, and they put pieces together.
It's a New York curse, man, because you think about Denver, what free agents really would want to come there if you're a big time free agent? So in their head, the coach and the organization could be like, hey, we have time to build. We don't have pressure. And I think with New York, I think sometimes the GMs and the coaches, they get pressure to come and build this big name. That's why I thought when Donnie Walsh was here, when he was slowly building the team, before the whole stupid Melo thing, that was so anti-New York. But you had something where we were building a team that was we're literally in the 7-8 spot for the playoffs. We weren't going to do anything that year, but you were slowly building an identity with that team, and we screwed that up, man. It's the New York curse, man. We got to get out of this thing of we just got to get the biggest names or whatever, man. Coach what you got, make smart decisions, and build. But for this Denver team, yeah, we're going to get killed. So sorry for taking so long, but yeah, we're going to get get
I mean, someone said that the Nuggets did tank for Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray was the number 7 pick. I mean, he didn't tank for Jamal Murray. I mean, I guess if that's what you want to call it, I guess you can say what you want to say about it. If that's what you want to say, I didn't really see them, trying to lose like you see some of these other teams, Chicago Bulls, how they were doing and stuff like that. I didn't see the Denver Nuggets do that. They had a plan and
was he that highly touted? I don't remember.
No,
hold on, Jamal Murray. I don't remember.
He's a number 7 draft pick. I said he tanked for Jamal Murray.
Lucky. I just don't remember him being. But look, hey, if you have a guy you like, you take him.
Yeah, I mean, come on, whatever. Anyway, let me get to this call. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey man, how's it going, man?
I'm good, man.
I'm
What's popping, man? How you feeling?
Oh, good. Hey man, I wanted to address the people that are calling in or writing and saying don't draft Zion, trade him, fleece other teams. That's the classic example of overthinking things and the obvious being right in front of you. There is nobody that would not draft Zion number 1. So thinking that somehow you can fleece somebody, get other players, Josh Jackson, who can't shoot, Mikal Bridges, who's a nice 3-and-D guy, but will never be in the same category as a Zion Williamson, is one of those things of seeing what's obvious right in front of you and thinking that it's not right in front of you. Just draft Zion and go from there. It's that simple.
It's that simple. I mean, so you just think he's hands down the guy because the same thing was thought about.
Let me just say this. Of all the players that will come out of college this year, there is no general manager in the league that would take somebody above Zion Williamson. So why is it that fans think that they see something or know something that general managers and scouts who do this for a living see?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you got some general managers and scouts who do this for a living and they're terrible at it. So, I mean, I'm just saying, you look at point guard from Philadelphia. He was that year. He was the consensus number 1 pick. He was going to be the game changer, right? For whatever team drafted him, right? He was going to be the game changer, and we see how that worked out.
Let me ask you a question. In all seriousness, did anybody ever talk about Markelle Fultz the way people are talking about Zion Williamson?
Yeah. He was supposed to be.
Markelle Fultz was a nice ball player who has a nice shot.
Markelle Fultz was supposed to be.
He was not. He
wasn't the hands down number 1 pick in that draft. Williamson. You're telling me that they said that no one said that he was the hands down number 1 pick. He was the hands down number 1 pick in that draft.
He was the hands down number 1 pick as far as Philadelphia was concerned, not as far as Danny Ainge and Boston was concerned.
No, exactly.
Jason Tatum all along.
Right, not as far as them, but for everybody else because they seen something that other people like what Mark and them were trying. What they think
I'm gonna ask you a simple question. Did anybody talk about Markelle Fultz the way people talk about Zion Williamson in terms of their?
Well, from what I heard, they did. From what I heard, Markelle Fultz was supposed to be a game-changing point guard, and maybe he still will be. I don't know.
He wasn't. They talk about Zion Williamson in the same breath that they talk about LeBron James when he came out.
Well, you know what?
There's no.
All I'm saying is,
draft, for example,
from what I heard with Markelle Fultz, they were talking about him as if he was he was the next superstar point guard. I mean, I'm just saying.
I'll tell you what, we'll agree to disagree on that.
Okay.
But let's just focus on Zion Williamson.
Okay.
There is no other player coming out that you would take above Zion Williamson. So why would you not draft him and think that you can get somebody 2 or 3 slots later that somehow is going to be a better pick than Zion Williamson? That's one of those things that doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, I guess we'll see. You know what I mean? People have their own. People have their own ideas. I haven't watched any of the players really paid attention to college basketball, so I can't call it. I don't know.
Right. No, listen, I try to keep an eye on both college and pro. Obviously, I'm more of a Knicks fan than anything else.
Yeah.
And I get the he can't shoot, but if right now, well, one of the things that the callers call in and say he can't shoot, but he plays D and he rebounds. Well, if a guy can play D and rebound already, things that you would love for somebody to bring to the NBA, and he can already do that. Well, we can teach people to shoot. People get in the gym who couldn't shoot in their rookie year, and by the third and fourth year, they're knocking down 3 at like 38, 39%. So shooting is something that will grow on you. If you can't play D and you can't rebound, that's hard to teach.
I'm gonna say this: defense and rebounding. And that's always where you want to start from, right? Always where you want to start from. So I'm with you 100% there. That's always where you want to start from. And if a player has those attributes, because a lot of times, those attributes, somebody's got to want to play defense. It's got to kind of be in them, in my opinion, right? It's like if you have a player that's too calm, you'd rather have a player that's too hype, right? Too has too much energy and try to bring them down than a player that has no energy and try to bring them up, because you can't bring it out of them, right? It's almost the same thing with defense and rebounding. If you have a player that already has those attributes, you can teach them the other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Bingo. Listen,
you know what
man, I mean? I listen to your podcast. I'm a Knicks fan that moved to Florida 15 years ago. But I was a season ticket holder for 18 years. I'm 59 years old. I go all the way back to Clyde and to Busher now.
I hear you.
So I know the Knicks. I know basketball. I've heard you talk about coaching your girls' team. I respect your passion and what you bring to the table, man. I admire it.
I appreciate
you,
my man.
know the game, and trust me when I tell you, if you have a chance to get a kid like this kid,
okay,
you don't even blink. You just take him. You sit him next to KP. You say all the things that KP may come up short. KP's not a great rebounder for his size. We know that. Zion is an excellent rebounder for his size. So you put the two of them together. You say, listen, KP, here's where your strengths are. Zion, here's where your strengths are. One of them compensates for the other one's weaknesses, and you go to war with that. All this other Josh Jackson, Mikal Bridges, seriously? Nah. So keep doing what you're doing, man. I
feel you, my man.
Good work you bring to the table.
I feel you, my man. And I want you, when we get back into draft, when we get back into, when we really get into the draft, I want you to call back in, or just call back in any time. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure this debate is going to heat up, and we're going to need you. We're going to need you to come in.
The last thing I'll say about the debate that goes on, it's been going on for 2 years, and I appreciate it. And I come up to the Garden at least 2 or 3 times a year, fly up from Florida just to watch Knicks. I'll be up there for the Toronto game, and then I'm coming back in March with my wife for LeBron at the Garden. So when I tell you I'm a Knicks fan, if you're going to get on a plane and fly to Florida in February, fly from Florida in February to watch the Knicks, that's a fan. I put my money where my mouth is.
All right.
And I'll say this: God bless Knicks fans on this debate about Frank, but that is what that is. That was a really bad pick at the 8th spot. He's a nice player. And there is no world that Frank Ntilikina should have been the 8th pick in the draft. He don't have that kind of game. We all know it. We making excuses, and I get it. But let's put that one to bed, man.
All right.
Let's put that one to bed.
I appreciate you, man.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Appreciate your call, bro.
And good luck with your daughter's team.
Oh yeah, we working it out, man. We trying to get better every day. We got a lot of work to do, but we trying to get better every day. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, man. Take good care of yourself and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Peace.
Peace.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and you know what? I'm just saying, I'm putting it out, with the Markelle Fultz. I just put 2 articles in the chat where you can, and I'm not gonna go searching on a whole bunch of things. You can see them. You can see the link and look in the chat. Where teams that the Boston Celtics thought, said Markelle Fultz was a transcendent point guard, and maybe they were just talking so that they can get done what they wanted to get done. The Ringer, Markelle Fultz is your dream point guard come to life. These are things that I was seeing back in 2016. That's all that I'm saying, right? You can go look at the links if you want to. If you don't want to, whatever. But that's where I got it from. So you ask me, where did I get it from? I'm showing you where I got it from. You know what I mean? I'm showing you where I got it from. I'm not just speaking out the side of my mouth. You know what I mean? But anyway, it is what it is. Back to Denver and the New York Knicks. Right? Back to Denver and the New York Knicks. Mark.
Yo.
Well, first of all, you probably want to respond to the caller.
That caller. For anybody that didn't watch Markelle Fultz, the year he played in college, he was by far the number 1 pick. The coach, like people talk about Tatum now, even Coach K didn't think Tatum was this good at all. And he said out of his own mouth. He was clearly number 1. He was talked about as a transcendent point guard. Yes, he was.
He was. He was talked about as a transcendent point guard. He was supposed to be the best thing to come out since Kyrie Irving. He was supposed to change your franchise.
And listen, really, he talked about Frank shouldn't be 8. Giannis shouldn't be 15. Giannis shouldn't be drafted at 15 if we're going to talk like that. Mm-hmm. Frank was picked as a project. Giannis was picked as a project. He was a project player, meaning that he has a ceiling. No one thought Giannis was in this. Giannis is a transcendent talent right now, and he got picked at 15. Mm-hmm. Dallas was supposed to go for him. Guess what? He didn't pick him because he didn't think he was good enough. So picks could go either way. But anyway, Markelle Fultz was talked as number 1. If you see this skill set, he had number 1 transcendent talent. Because look at Kyrie Irving right now as a number 1 pick. So stop. Just stop. I know y'all like Zion. Zion is good. I understand. Yeah, he does a lot. He does a lot of things that's good.
Yeah, and you know what? And I'm not even trying to get on Markelle Fultz.
I'm not trying to get on him.
Anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I hope that he gets moved somewhere and he still becomes that transcendent type player. I'm just saying, back then he was considered that, like Zion now is considered just the guy.
Let me tell you something.
Markelle Fultz was considered that.
If Markelle Fultz was as flashy as Zion is a show right now. He's a show for television right now. That's the difference between him and Markelle Fultz. He wasn't nationalized like how Zion is, and he's playing for Duke. Yeah, think about that. He's playing for Duke, so of course he's going to be on TV. Markelle Fultz was going to be on TV because guess who he's playing for?
He was playing for Washington, right? Come
on, stop, bro. Stop. It's who you play for sometimes come on. Zion is good, but me personally, I'm scared to pick him at number 1 for this team because we don't have the pieces to put around him for him to look good. He looks good because he's playing with RJ. He's playing with lottery players. He's playing with Cam Reddish. He's playing with the point guard. That point guard was supposed to be good as hell. He was supposed to be good as hell. And he's playing with RJ Barrett. So he's going to look good. And he's a freak talent. He's a freak talent, but he's very limited, bro. He's very, very limited. He's small. He's small. The Knicks need a big or a point guard, not a small forward. Power forward. We need a center or a guard, or another great wing.
Well, you know what?
He can't score. He can't score like that. He's not a scorer.
Yeah, well, we have a lot to talk about. We're gonna have a lot to talk about from now.
Markel Fultz was in number 1. That boy averaged 25, 6, and 4. What the hell?
And we're gonna have a lot to talk about. Because I can see a lot of debates going to be going on who we should draft. Is if we get that number 1 draft pick, we're probably going to be in that top 3 most likely. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Your thoughts on the Denver game?
Bro, Denver just smoked who they smoked tonight. We getting smoked because their offense is legit.
It is.
And we playing in Denver, right?
We're playing in Denver. Yeah, we're on a road trip, man. We're playing in Denver.
Come on,
playing in Denver.
Come on, Jokic out here playing with the ball like a yo-yo right now.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And big shout out to Siobhan Robinson. He said people haven't called Fultz a transcendent talent like Zion. And see, I disagree with that. I think back then I feel like everything.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Sim. What does Zion do that's transcendent?
1 second.
To even compare it to LeBron.
Hold 1 second. And then Jason Santiago said the Knicks in tank mode. I think I'm not going to use the words that he used. I'll take R.J. Barrett or Cam Reddish hands down. So that's what Jason Santiago is.
Guess what? Honestly, if that guy was talking about you take Zion for number 1, then team should have took Luka Doncic right now because he's transcendent right now. He's transcending Dallas right now. I watched him last night go against Anthony Davis. Mm-hmm. This kid looked like he's been in the league for 10 years plus. He was going at him.
He does. Luka looks like a 10-year vet.
Different.
He looks like a 10-year vet already. My goodness, he does, man. It's crazy.
So Phoenix and whoever picked before, they lost in that trade by far. Because Ayton ain't Doncic and Bagley ain't Doncic. Doncic commands. He commands right now. If you watch that kid, he's commanding right now. And for a non-athletic player to play like this, come on. Mm-hmm. So sometimes players just rise above. You could be number 1 and be a bust.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We're gonna see what's going on. We got a lot to talk about. So with the Knicks.
Again, Denver got dogs, man. When you watch Denver got dogs.
Yeah. Again, looking at the Tankathon standings, the Knicks second behind the Cleveland Cavaliers, and so we got a lot to talk about. It's about to be a sad couple of weeks for this chat. It is. It's going to be a rough one, but it's going to be a rough one. We're going to find ways to keep it live, though. We're going to find ways to keep it live, man.
But you see, Sam, if you want to keep it live, don't hold back. If you feel like you need to erupt when you watch these awful games,
what?
Tonight, I wish you to erupt. Tonight was a night for you to take a page out of my book.
I couldn't because I expected. Listen, if you go back and look at my the last stream. Right? You go back and look at the last stream, and I was like, one of these games are coming. I was expecting it. I knew it was coming. It was coming, and it came. Man. We got smacked. And I don't think we're gonna get smacked this bad in Denver. I don't. I think we're gonna lose, but we're not gonna get smacked like we did tonight. You know what I mean? But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Listen, I'm heading off. Isaiah, why don't you give me your quick, what you think about Denver and the Knicks, and then give me your last words, and we're gonna head off for tonight.
Denver. I mean, we everybody knows what's gonna happen, so there's no surprise in Denver. Sim, I defended you, Sim.
Okay.
I was like, we wasn't gonna talk about tanking. We were gonna talk about this until a little bit later, but you know what? It's okay. You caved in. Well, you came home.
I mean, I'm not talking about the players yet.
Okay.
I'm not on to that yet. You know what I'm saying? Right. We just looking at the taking a look at the standards. I'm not talking about players yet.
All right, fine. We won't talk about players, but you know what I'm saying? I'll say one thing though. Stay the hell away from R.J. Barrett. That is Tim Hardaway Jr. all over again. I'm trying to. That is Tim Hardaway all over again. R.J. Barrett. You know what, man? I would say this too, Sim. The last couple of, besides 2017, last couple of first round picks have been good. I just wanted to say that.
Okay.
You know, between Towns and Simmons and I forgot who was 20.
That's about it.
No shit. Yeah, you're right. That might be it. Nah, never mind. Well, no, even this year's. Listen. I'll say it like this: Luka Doncic is so good that DeAndre Ayton doesn't look good compared to
Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is commanding men. He's commanding the games. If you watch it, he's commanding the games.
Bro, I'm with you. Luka should have been number one. That's clear. That's clear as day. But you know,
give me a player that commands the game.
I'll say this, man. If we get number one, I'm probably leaning towards more trading the pick versus taking Zion. I mean, because you know, Mark did have a good point. Mark said, "What does Zion do that's really trendsetting?"
What?
And, you know, I thought about it, and I'm like, it's not that he dunks. He's like he reminds me of Charles Barkley / Sean Kemp kind of player. Even reminds me of Blake. He reminds me of Blake Griffin. So, yeah, I mean, hey, we got a couple months, and we got a long way until we
got a long ways to go. We got a long ways to go. We're gonna see what happens. We got
you know what, Sim?
To go,
when
man.
KP comes back, we're gonna win 50 games.
I hope so.
Year. But you know what, Sim? Also, too. So let me say one more thing before we go. I want everybody, if they get a chance, because I was doing this today, go on YouTube and watch KP game when he was playing last year, and my God, that boy was something bad. That boy was bad, Sam. And the way we played with KP, oh man, you forget how good KP is because we suck. KP on the Knicks last year, man, that boy was bad and he made everybody. I'll tell you, Frank played better, Tim played better, Courtney Lee played better.
That's right.
Ennis played better.
You said Tim played better?
With KP on the floor?
No, he didn't. Do you remember the start of the season that Tim Hardaway had? His start of the season was terrible.
It wasn't. I mean, he was averaging 20 points when KP was there.
Tim had like a small stretch where he played okay, where he played, he played good. I don't want to say
all right. I'll try to slide out of there. I'm right. Listen, but in all seriousness, when KP was on I'm telling people, look at the Pacer game, look at the Lakers game. Him and Frank and a couple of the other dudes played great, and KP was amazing, man. When KP comes, I agree with you. KP needs to come back for like at least 15 games.
Yeah, he needs to come back. He needs to come back so he can get his feet wet. We'll see if we got, we'll see if we got some kind of something for him to come back to, some kind of structure for him to come back to. I think that's going to be important for him. You know what I mean? But anyway, what's your take? The Knicks going to Denver Nuggets, high altitude. Isaiah, what's your take on the game? What's going to happen? They're playing in high altitude, man. We got blown out tonight. Is it going to be another blowout? I think it's going to be closer. It's going to be a double-digit loss. But I think they're going to play a little bit better.
120 to 100.
120 to 100. Denver Nuggets, right?
No. You know what? Damn it. The Knicks. I'm kidding. It's gonna be the Nuggets.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Nuggets.
Yeah,
it's gonna be the Nuggets.
Listen, yo. If you're Knicks fans, there's a few places where we just can't win. We never win in Portland. We never win in Golden State, and we never win in Denver. We never win in Denver.
Yeah. All right, man. Isaiah, man, I'm out, man, and I'll make sure I text you. With you, about your pops and everything.
Yeah, man, that's the Don Juan, right? Man. You gotta take care of him. If you can't take care of him, I gotta fight somebody. Somebody gonna get up that seat.
I
don't want it to be Guillermo because I like Guillermo.
We got you. We have a good time, man. We're gonna have a good time. There's still 10 tickets left, ladies and gentlemen. There's still 10 tickets left.
10 tickets, everybody.
10 tickets to the OKC Martin Luther King Day game. 10 of them.
Hey, Sam, I'm going to be real with you, too. Yo, Sam, this is my last game because I ain't going to keep paying for these tickets that I asked for. I ain't going to lie to you, Sam. These tickets like $250, $600 a pop. I can't keep watching to get an ass kick, man.
They're going to win this one. They're going to win this one because we're there.
Nah, that's a fact. Every time we go to the game, we there. The energy's popping. You know, who's Mark flexing? He was wilding. It was.
Yeah, they're gonna win. They're gonna win this one because we there.
Good. All right. But Mark was trying to steal your mic, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. Mark was trying to steal your mic.
But listen, ladies and gentlemen, there's 10 tickets. 10 tickets left to the OKC Martin Luther King Day game. I'm putting a link in the chat, man. If you want a ticket, make sure you jump in, get you a ticket. There's only 10 of them left. All right, 10 tickets left. The game is January 21st versus OKC at Madison Square Garden. So make sure you go get it. Go get you a ticket before they're all sold out. All right. And listen, I'm about to head up out of here. You got last words, Isaiah?
You know what, man? I'm just glad everybody's back on the chat, man. We was going for a week. I was scared for you, Sim. I thought you got taken by Knicks Fan TV or somebody. I don't know. Somebody took you off. Nah, but you know what, man? Listen, man, I'll say this, Sim, real quick, just to shout you out. This is going to be a terrible long season. We all know it, but you do make it better for everybody to talk about stuff. Yeah. And, you know, like you said, this, I'm not going to lie, Sim, this is probably going to be, besides Kevin Knox and Mitch and them, this is going to be the bright spot of all our season with your channel, Nothing But Knicks, man. And I can't wait for 2019 for you, man. It's gonna be a lot of success.
And we got a lot of stuff coming up, man. We still got the debate thing coming up. I just been getting it all together, and I got it all together now. So I got the sign up link getting ready to come out. I got that. You know, hopefully we get enough people that want to debate. Obviously, we got the Martin Luther King's Day game, the 24/7. I got a whole new little format with it, and I'm rolling stuff out as we go. That's gonna be popping. And and I'm gonna be actually I'm looking to start doing some of the free camps this summer. So I'm gonna start signing up for volunteers to coach the free camps in the summertime. So we got some things that's gonna be popping off, man. Want everybody to be involved.
Hey, as long as Zoe mother there, I'll be one of the coaches. Hey, Miss Parker,
dude, man, I'm getting him out of here. Get him out of here. What is he talking about, man? Mark,
yo, man,
got some last words for me, home.
Let me take y'all home. Listen, man, I want to see my fellow chat people at the game, man, because I got words for some of y'all, and I know y'all got words for me. So don't be scared. Purchase those 10 tickets. Look, think about it. You're paying about $200 for a suit, other than paying $200 for a row all the way in the fourth row. That's a bargain. That's a beyond bargain.
Yeah, man.
So just think of the experience with the fellas, with the gals, talking our ish. You know, I'm friendly. Don't be afraid.
Yeah,
I'm the same person as I am on stream in real life. So
yeah, it's fun, man. You got you know, we're gonna be you got courtside for pregame shoot arounds. We're gonna be doing a live stream, and we'll be in a lounge where you get food and beverage, and we're also, you know, working out so we can get on the court after the game, shoot some free throws or something like that. So, you know, it's gonna be fun. You know, if you've never been on the garden floor, this is your chance. If you've never been on the garden floor, this is your chance. So, yeah, let's do that. All right, Mark, man, I'm up out of here.
All right, bro.
All right, I will catch y'all Tuesday night, man. Tuesday night.
All right, yo.
All right,
another depressing Tuesday night.
Guillermo,
it's on you, man.
Yeah, man, I gotta keep it, man. We gotta lose on Wednesday, Tuesday, whenever the hell we play. But yeah, man. Salute to you guys. Salute to the chat, man. I'm looking forward to what we're gonna build with for next season, man. So I'm looking for trade deadline trades, or whatever, and I'm looking at a college game, man, because what I saw tonight, Sim, there's no system. There's nothing there, man. We're just, I don't know. I think Fizdale is a little overrun right now, but, you know, it remains to be seen what happens. So, you know, salute to you guys. I'll see you guys on Tuesday.
All right, man. Next game. All right. Yeah. I think it's Tuesday night. I see you then. Peace, see you, man. Bro. Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of the show, and it felt great to be back. I'm telling you, it felt great to be back. I was, you know, away, enjoying family. We had a great holiday. What with my daughter. We had a basketball tournament. We had a great time at the basketball tournament. We didn't win the tournament, but we had a great time nonetheless. We learned a lot of lessons, but we're back and we got a lot of things in store that's coming up. But believe me, while I was away, even though I was away for the week, I was working and trying to get things together. So if you've seen the 24/7 stream, you see some changes, and you're going to see some more changes to come. It's going to be down for a little bit tonight. It's going to be back up probably tomorrow morning as I'm tinkering with some things, and it'll be up for the next few days. Look for some videos to come out, and some more information about like the debates, the Knicks debates and all that kind of stuff, to come out within the next few days. If you have not followed me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. All right, twitter.com/nothingbutKnicks. You can also facebook.com/nothingbutKnicks. Also, I do a lot of posting in my YouTube community. All right, so jump into the YouTube community. I do a lot of posting in there. I post up pictures or flyers, pictures, polls, and just ask questions and just have conversations about things. And also I give you updates of whatever is, whatever's happening. If I'm going to be on late, or if I'm not coming on, or if I'm coming on, doing something extra, throw some updates in there. So take the time and check it out. All you got to do is, go to my YouTube channel. Right, you go to the YouTube channel, and that's where you can access the community board in the YouTube channel. I'm gonna put a link in the chat right now, so that you can access, so you can see where it is. If you are unaware or not familiar with it, you can access it right now. All right, so just make sure you're accessing this and paying attention to it, because I'll post some things in there. All right, but anyway, like I said, follow me on Twitter. Check out the community board, facebook.com/nothingbutKnicks. If you are interested in going to the OKC game on Martin Luther King's Day, here's the link for that. Again, it's $205 per ticket. You get access to a private lounge. We'll be courtside during pregame shoot around. Food and beverage is included, and we'll even get to jump on the court and shoot some free throws or take pictures. We're still working that out, but you'll get to actually get on the Madison Square Garden court. So make sure you check that out. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm on my way out for tonight, and make sure you holler at me on Twitter, Facebook, in my community. The YouTube community, all of that. Check out the 24/7 stream. I jump on the 24/7 stream. People are on the 24/7 stream, just talking, having a good time, talking about the New York Knicks. And, and you'll see a constant flow of updated information coming across your screen as you're talking to each other. So, holla at me, whichever way you choose. Peace. Have a happy, happy, happy New Year.